The year was 1848. A young boy stood in front of a burning steel furnace in Pittsburgh. The flames painted his face red, and the air was thick with smoke. He was only 13, tired, hungry, and covered in dust. Every strike of the hammer echoed his massive dream, a dream to rise above the fire and forge a life that no poverty could break. That boy's name was Andrew Carnegie. He started by earning $1.20 a week, and one day, he would sell his company for $480 million, becoming the richest man on earth and controlling the steel that built America itself. You're watching History of Millionaires, the channel where real stories of success come alive. Here, we don't just talk about money. We explore the journeys, the struggles, and the lessons behind every fortune ever made. If you believe that one story can change the way you see your own life, then subscribe now. Because what you're about to hear isn't just a story. It's a roadmap to greatness. Andrew Carnegie was born in Scotland in the year 1835. His home was small, one single room where his family slept, ate, and dreamed together. His father was a simple weaver, a man who made cloth with his hands and hope in his heart. But when machines began to replace men, his father's work disappeared. This wasn't just a loss of a job. It was a personal betrayal by the very progress America promised. His family was financially ruined, fueling a fire in young Andrew to never be dependent on anyone again. So, with their few belongings and heavy hearts, they boarded a ship to America. They believed the new world would welcome them with open arms. But when they arrived, the reality was different, cold, hard, and cruel. Young Andrew, just 13, started working in a cotton factory, 12 hours a day, $1.20 a week. The noise of the machines was deafening, and every day felt like a battle between survival and surrender. But deep inside that tired boy, there was a spark, a quiet voice that whispered, "This is not where your story ends." Every night, after work, Andrew would visit a small local library. He borrowed books, read them by candlelight, and imagined a world far bigger than the one around him. Those books became his first real teachers. That knowledge, his very first investment. One day, while working as a messenger boy, Andrew noticed something powerful. The richest men in the city didn't have strong arms. They had sharp minds. They weren't lifting iron, they were moving ideas. At just 18, Andrew learned how to operate a telegraph machine. He practiced every day until he could hear the clicks and translate them instantly, a skill very few people had at that time. This talent brought him attention, and soon, opportunity knocked. A powerful railroad executive named Thomas Scott noticed the young boy's potential. Scott offered him a job, not in the factory, but in the office. For the first time, Andrew wasn't just watching business happen. He was part of it. Working beside Thomas Scott, he learned how the American rail system worked, how goods moved, how contracts were made, and how timing could turn into profit. He started saving money, investing carefully, and studying every business decision around him like a student of success. And then something inside him changed. He realized he didn't want to work for the wealthy, he wanted to become one of them. By his early 30s, Andrew had saved enough to invest in small companies, railroads, bridges, and ironworks. But he was looking at something far beyond anyone else could see. A new material was changing the world: steel. At that time, steel was rare and expensive. Most people believed it was impossible to produce in large quantities. But Carnegie saw the future hidden inside the furnace. He believed that steel could build not just machines, but nations. In 1870, he founded the Carnegie Steel Company. From that day forward, he lived by one rule: invest in the future, even if no one else can see it yet. He introduced new technologies from Britain, built efficient furnaces, and used the latest methods to cut costs. While his competitors were still doing things the old way, Carnegie was creating a new industrial revolution of his own. He didn't just want to produce steel, he wanted to dominate it. Carnegie was relentless. He wasn't building factories. He was building an industrial empire on pure, ruthless efficiency. He made sure every step of the process, from mining iron to shipping the final product, was under his control. No middlemen, no waste, no delay. That's how he turned production into absolute power. By the 1880s, the name Carnegie Steel meant excellence, strength, and progress. The rails that stretched across America, the bridges that connected cities, and the skyscrapers that touched the sky, all carried the mark of his steel. But success didn't come without sacrifice. Carnegie worked endlessly, pushing his factories and his men to their limits. He believed discipline created greatness, and that comfort was the enemy of ambition. In just 2 decades, Andrew Carnegie transformed from an immigrant worker into the most powerful industrialist in America. And the boy who once earned $1 a week was now earning millions every month. Andrew Carnegie wasn't just a businessman, he was a thinker. He believed that knowledge was the real power that built empires. Money, to him, was only a result, not the goal. He once said, "No man will make a great leader who wants to do it all himself." That's why he surrounded himself with smart people, trained them, trusted them, and shared his success with them. He believed teamwork wasn't just business, it was a legacy. Carnegie also lived by another rule. The man who dies rich, dies disgraced. In his eyes, wealth had no value unless it served others. He didn't want to be remembered as the richest man. He wanted to be remembered as the one who helped others rise. He built thousands of libraries across the United States and Europe, believing that access to books could change lives, just like it changed his own when he was a poor boy in Pittsburgh. He funded schools, universities, and even science centers, giving away almost 90% of his fortune before his death. His philosophy was simple: use your wealth to open doors for those who don't have keys. Carnegie's greatest investment wasn't steel, it was people. He turned his success into opportunity for others. And in doing so, he became more than a millionaire, he became a mentor to generations. Andrew Carnegie's legacy didn't end with the steel he made. It lived on through every bridge, every building, and every mind that his generosity helped to grow. He proved that greatness isn't built in a single day, but forged slowly through discipline, courage, and vision. Carnegie taught the world a timeless truth, that real wealth isn't measured by how much you keep, but by how much you give. He turned the pain of his childhood into the power of his adulthood. The boy who once worked 12 hours a day for a single dollar became the man who gave away hundreds of millions to help others dream. Even today, the institutions he founded, Carnegie Mellon University, Carnegie Hall, and thousands of libraries around the world, stand as monuments to his belief that education is the foundation of progress. His story reminds us all: no dream is too big, no start is too small, and no obstacle is strong enough to stop the one who keeps learning. Andrew Carnegie didn't just change the world of steel, he changed the meaning of success itself. And that was the story of Andrew Carnegie, the Steel King, a man who came to America with nothing but dreams and left behind a legacy stronger than steel itself. His journey teaches us that success isn't about luck or timing, it's about vision, hard work, and the courage to keep going when no one believes in you. If you felt inspired by this story, then you're already part of what we're building here. Because History of Millionaires isn't just a channel, it's a movement of dreamers, thinkers, and builders who believe that knowledge can change destiny. Subscribe now and let's uncover the next story together. The next mind, the next dream, and the next legend who shaped the world. Because the story you just watched might one day sound a lot like yours.